No one noticed when it started. No grand announcements, no fiery radio moments, no dramatic Ferrari photo ops, just a shift quiet and deliberate. Behind the pit wall, inside the debrief room, Ferrari began to change. Not with revolution, with refinement. Not with fire, with focus. It didn't come from panic or politics, but from two people working in sync, Lewis Hamilton and Jérôme D'Ambrosio. And while the headlines fixate on results, the real story is what's unfolding in the margins. No chaos, no clashes, just structure replacing static, process replacing instinct. And for Ferrari, that's the most important development in over a decade. Hamilton didn't arrive in Maranello to be saved. He came to rebuild. Not to start fresh, but to integrate something deeper, years of standards, systems and habits forged in championship fire. And D'Ambrosio? The quiet strategist. The one voice in the room who speaks both languages. Hamilton's formula and Ferrari's passion. Together, they aren't fighting Ferrari's history. They're refining its future. This isn't about dominance yet. It's about cadence. About decision-making under pressure. The transformation isn't happening through wins, it's happening in how Ferrari responds when things don't go to plan. Radio calls that used to spiral now come measured and clear. No shouting, no blame, just execution. That's the real victory here. Because Ferrari has never lacked speed. It's lacked sustainability. Alonso, Vettel, Raikkonen, they all arrived with hope and left with disappointment. Not because they weren't good enough, but because the team around them wasn't ready. Emotional spikes, strategic misfires, talent without traction. That's what Hamilton walked into. But he didn't come alone, and he didn't come to compromise. What he brought was a culture shift, not to overpower Ferrari, but to uplift it. He questions things, strategy, timing, direction, not out of ego, but out of experience. And what's changed is how Ferrari responds. Not with panic, not with delay, but with maturity. D'Ambrosio is central to that. He's not a figurehead. He's a filter, the one who turns Ferrari's heat into something productive. He doesn't fight for the spotlight. He builds under it. And what he's building is a culture of precision, where engineers don't freeze in pressure, where drivers trust the pit wall, and where success isn't just possible, it's sustainable. Look closely at recent races. Silverstone didn't bring a win, but it brought something better. Stability. No implosions. No blown calls. Just a team holding its line. That's new. That's rare. And that's why this moment matters. Ferrari has always been emotional, operatic, prone to burnouts and brilliance in the same weekend. But now, that fire is being contained, directed. Not to dim it, but to finally control it. And the team is listening. To Hamilton, to D'Ambrosio, to each other. Debriefs have changed. Data is being processed faster, clearer. Younger engineers are speaking up. Simulations are tighter. Strategy meetings aren't run on instinct, they're run on frameworks. It doesn't mean every result is perfect. It means the chaos is no longer random. The transformation isn't loud. It's layered. In how the engineers speak, in how the drivers respond, in how the team breathes when the pressure's on. Ferrari is learning not just how to fight, but how to last. Hamilton's role in this is more than just a driver. He's a systems thinker. He's reshaping the foundations of a team known more for drama than discipline. He's not here for a farewell tour. He's here to build something permanent, something bigger than himself. And D'Ambrosio? He's the one making sure that system survives long after the podium photos fade. Together, they've created something Ferrari hasn't had in years. Continuity. Between feedback and response. Between emotion and execution. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And in Formula One, consistency wins titles. The signs are subtle but undeniable. The way Hamilton's feedback is handled, the way pit wall decisions are executed, the way the garage operates not frantically, but rhythmically. For the first time in years, Ferrari doesn't feel reactive. It feels ready. And that readiness is being tested and passing. Not with race wins, but with how the team recovers from mistakes, how it adjusts mid-race, how it communicates under stress. Ferrari isn't just surviving pressure, it's starting to control it. This is cultural re-engineering, not just a tactical overhaul. It's about changing habits, changing expectations, building something that doesn't break when the margin for error vanishes. And that kind of shift? That doesn't happen overnight. It happens through trust, through repetition, through leadership that doesn't have to shout to be heard. Hamilton is setting the tone, but he's not doing it alone. D'Ambrosio is the amplifier, the interpreter, the one who ensures this vision doesn't get lost in translation. The result isn't fireworks, it's fluency. The team is learning how to think like a champion before they start winning like one. And this isn't about mimicking Mercedes. It's about modeling something new. Ferrari isn't trying to become cold or clinical. It's learning how to be fiery with control, passion with process, emotion with execution. That's the balance. And for once, they're holding it. Because when Ferrari finally stops eating itself from within, when it learns how to let structure survive emotion, that's when the real threat begins. Not just to Red Bull, not just to McLaren, but to the entire paddock. The Hamilton, D'Ambrosio axis isn't built for headlines, it's built for legacy. For a future where Ferrari doesn't just flash with promise, but delivers with precision. They're not chasing nostalgia. They're creating sustainability. The question isn't whether this will end in a championship. The question is whether Ferrari will finally become the kind of team that can win more than one. That's what this alliance is about. Not short-term glory, but a lasting foundation. And if they hold the Lenef, this culture shift holds, then what we're watching won't just be a resurgence, it'll be a redefinition. Ferrari, not as the team that nearly wins, or collapses under its own weight, but as a dynasty in the making. This isn't about lap times. It's about leadership, about silence where panic used to live, about alignment where ego used to clash. And if it continues, history won't remember 2025 for one race win. It'll remember it as the year Ferrari finally learned how to build one. So, this isn't about one podium. It's not about one radio message or a headline-grabbing finish. This is about something deeper. Something Ferrari hasn't had in years: control, stability, belief. Not the kind you shout into a microphone, but the kind you feel in every decision, every response, every lap. Hamilton didn't come to be saved. D'Ambrosio didn't come to be seen. They came to build. And now, for the first time in a long time, Ferrari isn't just hoping. It's planning. It's trusting. It's growing. And if this axis holds calm, meets fire, passion meets process, then what we're watching isn't a comeback. It's the start of something far more dangerous. A Ferrari that doesn't just fight. A Ferrari that finally knows how to finish.